Like,
Channel switched.
No, he oh.
Hello and welcome to the stream, guys. How do you feel after that victory?
Pretty damn good, actually.
1 point for the North team. Now we are ahead 1-0 against the South. What do you guys feel gave you the edge in that game?
Well, from the get-go, Elise applied a lot of pressure mid, and they got 2 quick, successful ganks. But the problem with doing that is we picked a very snowbally comp. We picked Nasus in the top lane, and obviously Vayne as a hyper carry AD in the bottom. And we were able, while I was getting ganked and killed mid, to start Nion off to a good start on Vayne and get first blood. So that gave us the edge in bot lane, and then from there it was basically a game of snowballing our advantage. We knew that Nasus would be able to outpush Mundo because Mundo didn't take TP and doesn't have any hard CC to stop Nasus, so we knew if we left him alone to do his own thing, we would be able to bring him down for objectives. That's why we were able to take Drake control so much. And then Dowsey did a great job of controlling the jungle and not letting the Elise get too many ganks off.
Yeah, excellent. So during that game, were there any sort of points where you felt you were sort of starting to lose that lead that you gained in the early game?
I would definitely say that it was just the point where there was a lot of pressure being put mid, so we really had to try and get top lane down. We had to try and get the turrets top, mid and bot lane. We managed to get top lane down fine, but it was just a fact because the early tower went down in the mid lane. There was a lot of pressure put down into bot lane because it means that we couldn't rotate as easily. So it was really difficult because we didn't have the vision either, and we couldn't just force into their jungle because when you have an Elise, an Ahri, something like a Mundo, like you can't just go into their jungle thinking that you can just ward up because the catch potential in their team was absolutely huge. So that was our biggest problem, I think, when it came to that game.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, have you got any questions you would like to ask them?
yeah, I was just wondering, kind of in the overall feeling of the game throughout. Obviously, as casters, kind of we see all the gold statistics. We kind of see the item differences and goal differences between individual champions. Did you feel that it was relatively kind of even throughout the rest of the game until it got to that kind of a 30-35 minute mark where you started to pick up a bit of an edge, where obviously Nion, you started to feel a bit invincible and felt like you could 1v1 anyone on the southern team? Like, so did you feel it was even for most of the game? Or
I thought it was even in the senses that personally as an AD carry, I was much further ahead CS and kills wise as of Jinx, so I was able to just do what I wanted against them too. Like, they wouldn't be able to go aggressive on me. As you've seen, when Thresh went into mid lane, they still weren't aggressive on me because they knew that they couldn't 2v1 me, even though all I had was a Blade of the Ruin King. But at that time, all she had was a Dorn's Blade and a longsword or a vamp, so they really didn't have enough damage. So we felt that the gold differentiation was more even, but in different places. Like mid lane got really ahead. You've seen that Ahri managed to pick up a DFG really early, but
Yeah.
and then you look at bot lane and you looked at Vayne, play the Ruin King and a static Shiv very early. So it did kind of counter out, and we did have a lot of even gold, I believe, through most of it. But the global objectives that we got for Drakes, I think we got every single Drake bar one. So we are quite ahead.
I think the turning point for me was when the second Drake was being contested and 5 of them grouped, and we had Senpai in the top lane pushing the second tier tower, and we made the call to have Thresh, Vayne and Shyvana stall while Senpai splitted top and I split mid. And obviously by then Nasus had completed his Iceborne Gauntlet and I had Lichbane, so we were able to shred through 2 towers very quickly. And with some good play, we managed to contest them off the Drake. So we were able to take 2 big tier 2 objectives for free. And then from there, it was obvious which lane we were going to push. We went bottom, sealed that, and then began the Baron dance, which initially, while wasn't successful, I think was only possible because we were able to take 2 very quick tier 2 towers around the mid game.
Yeah, definitely a very good call for you. Earlier in the game, the Southern team took a very early Baron just after a team fight. Did you guys expect them to go for that Baron? I mean, you saw it happen. Nasus arrived it was a little too late that he arrived, and obviously 3 of you were dead anyway, so there wasn't much you could do about it. But were you expecting them to go for that Baron, or was it a bit of a surprise?
It was certainly on the cards. I think it was a good call from them. We only realised when it was halfway through, we thought, oh god, they could be doing Baron, and that's when we sent Senpai to check. Obviously, there wasn't a lot we could have done. We didn't have a ward for him to teleport to, and we weren't in a position to contest. And the Baron pressure, when you've got Dr. Mundo on your team, is especially large because he can essentially tank all the damage that Baron's going to throw at you. So, in that sense, no, we didn't really anticipate the Baron, and yeah, I'd have to say we misplayed that scenario.
Yeah, okay. But obviously, you came out on top, so none of any of the misplays throughout the game mattered too much because you played so well throughout the rest of the game. So really, really well done, guys. Getting our first point for the Northern team. And we are now going to go to a quick 5-minute break, and then we're going to join you guys again for our open division game of the North versus South for the 2nd point in the tournament. So thank you very much for joining us, guys, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Nice little shout.